Rockford IceHogs continue on their busy weekend here at BMO Harris Bank Center and also look to continue their push up the Central Division standings. Joseph Zakshevsky once again with you, and I'm joined alongside assistant coach Peter Aubry for the Forest City Diagnostic Imaging diagnosis of the game. And Peter, we were just kind of chatting a moment ago of how exciting it is to have postseason hockey once again. The IceHogs making that push and looking to have that second season. We haven't had it the last couple of years, and it feels like it's just brought a different energy and exciting new energy to the locker room.
Yeah, no question. Certainly the last few weeks we've been talking a lot with the players about the importance of playing meaningful games, the importance of competing in those games and doing well in those games. So obviously that was about leading up to the playoffs, but now we're going to be able to do that heading into the playoffs as well.
Well, the IceHogs have been playing a lot of hockey in a short amount of time. Certainly no stranger there, but 15 games in the month of April. Just got done with 2 rounds of 4 games in 5 days. Now you're playing in back-to-backs here over the weekend. It's a lot of hockey, so sometimes it's hard to get excited when you're playing just that grind of a season, but at the same time, too, you're getting results, and you're getting consistent results, and consistency seems to be one of the major factors for this IceHogs team to continue their push upwards.
Well, I think one of the things we were talking about before the interview started here was about the importance of daily habits, and I think we're seeing that. You know, that's been something that's been preached over the years here, and Anders has done a great job with that with the players. We're day in and day out, we're doing the same things over and over again. So when we do have those difficulties, those added stresses, you know, the autopilot is able to kick in and perform well.
Well, it's also a team, too, when faced adversity. This is a pretty light group, and I remember a time when we were just up in Winnipeg last weekend, in fact, when you had flight delays, you had to stay overnight a little bit longer, you had long games to play through, but at the same time, everybody was just joking around, having a good time, and enjoying their time together when normally, you know, at this time of season, it can kind of turn into a negative spiral a little bit. It's fun to see a group that embraces the adversity, embraces the challenge, and makes positives out of it.
Yeah, I think we have a real nice group where we're able to be honest and acknowledge, okay, maybe some of those difficulties or things that we don't like as much, but at the same time putting in perspective and holding it off to the side a little bit when we're like, oh, well, we're here, we get to go play hockey again and do a good job with that. So I think that's a real testament to the leadership in the locker room that we do have, where they're able to show the right path and other guys are able to follow suit or learn from that. But yeah, we've been able to bend without breaking, that's for sure.
Well, the IceHogs, there's a lot of young players in this locker room, some of them playing their first professional postseason or potential postseason push hockey games, meaningful games, as Peter just mentioned. Coach, you were with the organization back in 2018 when they made that run all the way to the Western Conference Finals, how exciting that was. And for this team, I mean, what kind of energy, what kind of experience are you tapping in from that run, the last time the IceHogs were in the playoffs, to maybe help some of these youngsters that haven't played, A, this much hockey in a very long time, and B, getting ready for a second season?
You know, I think you said it right there with the energy. That's what I think of about that time, how we all felt so good. It was such a fun time, and I'm sure the fatigue does come in at certain levels, but that energy was able to supersede that, and I feel that myself right now.
Well, that kind of rolls into my next point, too, is that Peter Aubry, the goaltending coach, too, he works a lot with the goaltenders. Arvid Soderblom, Colin Delia, his time here, Cale Morris, Tom Aubry, and even Jackson Stabra in his brief time here, too. Goaltending is huge when it comes to playoff hockey and being able to be successful down the stretch. Arvid had great weekends up in Manitoba. We saw Cale Morris phenomenal on Tuesday up in Chicago. You're getting that goaltending, which I know kind of feeds the energy to the rest of the club. When your goaltender can come up with a big save or a big performance, it just seems to snowball in a positive direction. You have to be liking what you're seeing from the guys in the blue paint.
Absolutely. I mean, Arvid has been fantastic for us throughout the season, but I think every month he takes a little bit of a step forward. And you know, you mentioned the games in Manitoba, and like he was just dynamite in those games there. Yeah, he's special. He's a talented player, and he's a wonderful individual, very dedicated to his craft. And you know, Cale, hasn't had the opportunity to play as much as he'd like this year, and he got spot checked in the other day and was fantastic against the Wolves. You know, in a building not so easy to play against the best team in the league, and he went in there and gave us the performance that we needed.
Now looking at the final couple of games of the regular season, we're pretty much here in terms of how the IceHogs fit. In fact, after this weekend, they only got 3 more contests, 2 on the road, Wednesday at Iowa, at Milwaukee Friday, and then you finish off at home against the Chicago Wolves on April 30th. So what are you as a coaching staff looking to do to make the most of these final couple games, get ready for the second season push, and ultimately, what's kind of the focus in your perspective to try and keep this train moving forward for the IceHogs?
Well, I think first and foremost, we want guys to be healthy and have the right energy levels. But a very close number 2 are those habits, making sure we're doing the right things day in and day out. And again, that's just going to propel us into the playoffs. And when we do have those pressure-filled situations, whether it's overtime games, whether it's calls don't go our way, making sure our habits are dialed right in where there's, I don't say little room for error, but we're able to make a mistake and our response is fantastic dealing with that little deviation from the plan.
Peter, I greatly appreciate it. Good luck this weekend. We look forward to seeing what's to come down the road here for the IceHogs here in the next couple games.
Thanks, Joey. Appreciate it.
Assistant coach Peter Aubry joining us for the Forest City Diagnostic Imaging diagnosis of the game as the Rockford IceHogs right back to work this evening as they continue their push up the Central Division standings. You're listening and watching Rockford IceHogs Hockey on the Hogs Broadcast Network, presented by BMO Harris Bank.